For millions of fans, HGTV offers the greatest lineup of bingeable home design and real estate-focused reality programming. But while the network's hosts, crafters, and designers are celebrities in their own right, they often find themselves embroiled in salacious scandals. Here are some of the biggest controversies ever faced by the sunny hosts of HGTV. Ellen DeGeneres isn't just a daytime talk show host and stand-up comedian. With her wife, actor Portia de Rossi, DeGeneres has bought and sold more than 20 homes and properties, according to Architectural Digest, and she also published a book about interior design. With all that experience in her back pocket, DeGeneres then joined HGTV in 2015 with Ellen's Design Challenge, a reality competition show like Project Runway or Top Chef, but focused on furniture crafting and flawless design. But the first season of the series ended with one of the most shocking twists in reality TV. Contestant Tim McClellan was declared the winner, earning a $100,000 prize for designing a wooden desk in the ultimate challenge. But according to the Washington Post, a week after the finale taped, producers learned that established designer Simon Schacht had previously created a desk nearly identical to the one McClellan claimed as his own. McClellan was immediately disqualified, and his victory and prize money went to runner-up Katie Stout.
The solution for us is to start all over again.
DeGeneres invited McClellan onto her talk show to explain his side of the story. He said, "In recollection, I've never seen his piece. With that said, the similarities of the two pieces are quite compelling, and I understand the decision made and accept it." HGTV's long-running series Love It or List It makes a life crossroads into a game. Should you move to a new home or renovate your current one and possibly later sell it? In 2015, according to the Miami Herald, realtor David Byzantine and designer Hilary brought the whole Love It or List It operation to Raleigh, North Carolina for Dina Murphy and Timothy Sullivan.
And are you going to love it?
Or are you going to list it?
Well, we've decided to
List it.
It's fair to say that Murphy and Sullivan did not love the work performed by the show. In 2016, the couple filed suit against production company Big Coat TV, alleging breach of contract and unfair trade practices over what they felt was extremely subpar renovation work. The pair were required to give Big Coat TV $140,000 and to use a local contractor they didn't like and who had poor customer ratings. And then Big Coat didn't even pay all of that money to the contractor, nor did it use a licensed architect. The result was a quote, irreparably damaged floor, low-quality carpet installation, and multiple surfaces that were left unpainted. Murphy and Sullivan contend that they were essentially duped into paying for the production of an episode of the series instead of their actual home. Drew and Jonathan Scott, the identical twin house rehabbers and flippers who bill themselves as the Property Brothers, are the flagship personalities of HGTV. Since 2011, they've been all over the network, with shows like Property Brothers Forever Home, Buying and Selling, and Brother vs. Brother. The Scotts maintain a wholesome, warm image, and HGTV has reaped the profits from doing business with the duo. But both the twins and the network alike were dealt a blow when Jonathan Scott got into a seemingly uncharacteristic bar fight in North Dakota. According to USA Today, the Scotts arrived in Fargo to speak at a 2016 design conference, and late one night, Jonathan hit a local bar called Dempsey's Public House. At 2 a.m., staff attempted to close, which agitated Scott. According to TMZ, things escalated to the point where a bouncer placed Scott in a headlock, claiming to have not done anything wrong and to have simply gotten caught up in a fight already in progress. Scott called 911 and reported the bouncer for assault. Prosecutors never charged Scott with a crime, citing a lack of evidence. Married home reno team Chip and Joanna Gaines are HGTV darlings. The fixer-upper stars are so valuable to the network that they got their own spin-off channel, the Magnolia Network, named after their lucrative home decor business and brand. Married since 2003, the Gaines are a tight-knit, family-first couple who balance their many professional endeavors with the rearing of 5 children. They're also a deeply religious duo, and they've openly discussed their faith on a number of occasions, including Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Sunday and at their church, Antioch Community Church, a non-denominational Christian congregation in Waco, Texas.
I was made for a reason, and I need to let whatever God has created me for, that needs to be known.
But in a 2016 report, BuzzFeed dug into the church's firm stance against same-sex marriage and promotion of conversion therapy, which the Human Rights Campaign has called a, quote, dangerous practice. Also, as of 2016, no same-sex couple had ever appeared on Fixer Upper. Representatives of the Gaines Company did not respond to the story, but HGTV did, saying in a statement, "We don't discriminate against members of the LGBT community in any of our shows. HGTV is proud to have a crystal clear, consistent record of including people from all walks of life in its series." Reality TV has been around long enough that the general public has at least some sense that shows in the genre are carefully edited, staged, or juiced to maximize entertainment. That being said, HGTV's House Hunters was singled out in 2012 for a wrongdoing that would make it one of the most non-real reality shows on the air.
I don't think there's any way that the show could actually follow someone because real house hunts take months.
Former House Hunters participant Bobby Jensen wrote about her experience on the show for the blog Hooked on Houses. Jensen and her family were in the market for a larger house and planned on turning their present home into a rental property. But producers said their story wasn't exciting enough, so they instead pushed the idea that the family just needed a bigger home. Then, Jensen blew up the whole concept of the show, which purports to follow a family as they look for a new home. According to Jensen, the couple had already signed the papers on a new house before their episode ever started production. She added, "When they decided to film our episode, we had to scramble to find houses to tour and pretend we were considering." Apparently, the losing homes the Jensens rejected were just the recently cleaned actual houses of their friends. As the host of the HGTV juggernaut house flipping show Flip or Flop, former real estate agents and married couple Tarek and Christina Moussa had a lot of happily ever afters when it came to properties. But in real life, their seemingly picture-perfect marriage and carefully calibrated image were erased after a frightening blow-up.
I felt like I was drowning and I was just trying to stay above water, like just doing whatever I could to just get through the day.
In 2016, according to TMZ, police in Orange County, California answered a call regarding a man holding a gun at the Moussa home, sending a helicopter and 11 deputies to defuse the situation. According to witnesses, Tarek had taken a gun from the house, bolted away, and ran down a hiking trail while Christina emerged from the house, visibly trembling and sobbing. Authorities found Tarek and he willingly disarmed, although police later seized 5 guns from the home. In December 2016, the Moussas announced their separation after 7 years of marriage. They said in a statement to People, "Like many couples, we have had challenges. We will continue to work through this process civilly and cooperatively, and plan to continue our professional life together." When they were still together, personally and professionally, Tarek and Christina Moussa's Flip or Flop was so popular, and their success so seemingly attainable, that countless viewers figured they could also find financial independence by buying, renovating, and reselling houses at a huge profit too. The Moussas encouraged that wealth mindset, holding a series of seminars called Success Path, according to In Touch.
I want to do something super cool, something unique, leave a legacy, and just live a life that when I was a kid, I watched other people on TV live.
Led to believe that flipping houses was a relatively easy way to make money. Ohio resident Catherine Brockfield paid nearly $2,000 to attend a seminar. But after alleging that the class was little more than a scam, she asked for, but did not receive, her money back, leading her to file a complaint to the state's attorney general. And a similar story went down in other states. In Florida, Wendy Sisk contacted authorities after she says she wasted $80,000 on courses. While in Iowa, Lori Ingersoll got her attorney general involved and got back almost all of the $42,000 she sunk into Success Path, after she filed a scam complaint and authorities discovered that the Moussas program violated the law. One part of Chip and Joanna Gaines' portfolio of projects is the Magnolia Market at the Silos in Waco, Texas, a large upscale complex that includes shopping, a garden, and a cafe. It's an effective way for Gaines fans to get a taste of the Stars brand, but it was also the source of a squabble that didn't exactly cast the duo in the best light. In 2016, according to the Waco Tribune, Darren Farmer, a manager of Head Properties, filed a lawsuit against the Magnolia complex and Chip Gaines specifically. Farmer sought damages of $200,000 to $1 million over a gate installed by Gaines that blocks access to the adjacent property he controls. While Farmer bought his piece of land earlier in 2016, the previous owner had worked out a lease agreement with Gaines so that Magnolia employees and customers could park there. The lease expired, renewal talks between Farmer and Gaines fell apart, and so Gaines put up the gate. Farmer claimed, "Chip is just trying to strong-arm me because he doesn't want to pay what I am asking for that lot." A judge dismissed the lawsuit in 2017, according to KWTX, when the Gaines simply bought Farmer's lot. Designer carpenter Carter Oosterhouse entered the fray in 2004 with TLC's hit Trading Spaces, and then landed his own show on HGTV 3 years later with Carter Can. But in 2017, after he'd moved on to other projects, Oosterhouse was accused of assault by a former colleague who had worked on Carter Can. Makeup artist Kaylee Kaminsky told The Hollywood Reporter that in 2008, Oosterhouse repeatedly demanded she perform an intimate act on him, which she did after he threatened to fire her. Then, Kaminsky alleged, Oosterhouse forced or coerced her into repeating the act 10 to 15 times. In response, Oosterhouse called the allegations, quote, upsetting, and admitted he had been in an intimate relationship with Kaminsky, but said it was a consensual arrangement. A producer on Carter Can told The Hollywood Reporter, "It didn't raise any flags, so I don't think we suggested an intervention. It didn't seem like it was abusive." Oosterhouse continued to work for HGTV in several capacities. As of 2021, Windy City Rehab has aired 2 seasons worth of home renovation projects. Interior designer Allison Victoria finds old, broken-down fixer-uppers in the Chicago area and then makes them modern and livable. She was assisted by Donovan Eckhart, a contractor who would supervise and manage the construction elements of each project. Windy City Rehab will continue production according to deadline, but without Eckhart. His time on the show culminated in multiple messy lawsuits for HGTV. According to People, Victoria and Eckhart were co-defendants in a case filed in 2020 by a pair of Chicago-area homeowners, accusing the Windy City Rehab team of shoddy construction that led to water damage, cracked columns, and other problems that required more than $100,000 worth of repairs. Also in 2020, 2 different homeowners filed a lawsuit against the show and its stars for leaving several problems with its renovation, such as water drainage issues, leaks, and a faulty roof.
Everything goes out the window.
In 2021, Eckhart moved from defendant to plaintiff when he sued Windy City Rehab producer Big Table Media and HGTV parent company Discovery Inc. for $2.2 million, citing, quote, defamation and intentional infliction of emotional stress, according to Deadline. Eckhart alleged that his show was scripted and carefully constructed to make him seem like the villain, as well as the face of many of those bad business allegations. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite HGTV stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.